Imagine, if you will, a world created out of the life and legacy of one man, Walt Disney. Emerging through the power of all the hearts he had touched during his time here, to all the souls he had influenced in the hereafter. This bold new universe of metafiction came into fruition when three curious fellows, who were roped in by Roy Disney and participating shareholders, all had a weird dream one night where their spirits were floating aimlessly across the night sky, never taking their usual physical shape until they burst into a new form, with a new world having been built beneath their feet. It was there that they saw the man whose shoes they were going to fill. Except here he looked like a plastic look-alike designed from the man's memory. The three dreamers looked to themselves to see that they have changed as he had. Spirits housed in a mystical crystal form coated with plastic, molded hair and all. As the four ventured onward, they saw the world they created was a world populated by plotworks, which take the form of Disney characters, both well-known and often forgotten. And in this world they stood as ageless, immortal nobles, with jolly old Walt crowned their king. But of course no kingdom is complete without a princess to justify it. And that's where Sempai comes in. A Disney supremacist through and through, although even she has to admit that the house that Walt built tends to make mistakes every now and again. On the surface, young Sempai Montague is fierce, independent, tomboyish and pugnacious. But when you dig deep into her heart, you will realize that she dreams of one day visiting the world of the clumsies, Earth, despite old Uncle Walt forbidding her to go beyond the walls of the many Disney parks surrounding our world. And so Walt, being Walt, decided to tell her stories of the human world and how sadistic and corrupt it was compared to the world she knew and called home. Undeterred, she still dreams of visiting the clumsies to this very day. As the years passed and Disney created many more characters to populate this new world we earthbound folk refer to as the Toy Box, the three had learned that although they were immortal, they were not the genuine Archicles. Eisner wanted to show the world the Toy Box, but Walt refused, saying that they shouldn't interfere with the human race, as they were no longer human to begin with. The fickle hand of fate would teach them this lesson, but indeed the hard way. Death, betrayal, and a string of bad decision after bad decision would render the genuine Michael Eisner unfit to run the Walt Disney Company. His successor, Robert Iger, mended the broken relationship between Disney and Pixar, resulting in a merger in 2006. This would lead into an acquisition of Marvel in 2009, and with it a treasure trove of 7,000 hearts. And 3 years after that, Lucasfilm followed suit. As this was happening, Sempai had started to weave a makeshift family for herself, out of all the myriad toys from Andy's womb, both big and smallest. And although Mike had created friends for Sempai to socialize with, she always preferred her family, which expanded into Bonnie's Toy Box upon Toy Story 3, over the rehashed characters Michael had created from the Disney archives. Today there is a story that is destined to be told. A tale of her escape to the world of the clumsies, and how her shenanigans influenced the lives of 64 people, and how it changed the course of each of their futures forever. Alright, deep dish, enough chit-chat, let's get to the gameplay! Ladies and gentlemen of the mob, time to riot loose with a fandom Arson of Disney Infinity 1.0. The one that started it all. Belts up, gang. We're about to land.
Imagination can take you anywhere, but you have to take the first step.
You begin as a spark of imagination through a guided tour of the Disney Infinity Toy Box, a wide-open canvas for video game development, with a whole plethora of Disney stuff as the material from which you build it. After you gather enough sparks to build yourself a body, you are then greeted by a whole plethora of Disney characters, old and new, but mostly the spiffy new CGI/live action movies that Disney seems eager to pimp out, like that DeLorean you never asked for. I am looking at the red race car here.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Place a figure on the base, and you land yourself into the toy box, with your cheapest ticket to the show being $75. But if you want the hype-tastic as all hell lightsaber pack, you are cold staring at a $400 paycheck to Disney. And don't get me started on the power discs. Like I said, the toy box is an expert world-building system built for morons. Or iPhone hipsters, it's all the same to me. The ultimate goal for the toy box? Build the most frickin' awesome toy boxes there is, and land yourself a cushy job at Avalanche Software. It's as easy as figuring out what the future of Time Warner's going to look like, if they keep pulling their shit with Teen Titans Go. I smell another acquisition!
Yeah, so how's Pixar saving your ass this time, Mickey? Suck my enchanted ball sack, you hunk of shit!
You can only go so far buying nothing but power discs. And that's why we have playsets to supply us with new toys, traversing through not only the contractually obligated Pixar movie Monsters University, but also The Incredibles and the Pirates of the Care Bears. And that's just from the starter pack. 3 other franchises landed playsets in Disney Infinity, and we're going through them piece by piece, starting with The Incredible Morks.
You think I've got only one trick up my sleeve? Wrong!
It plays kinda like a Marvel-type beat-em-up, which is always a good sign for licensed games. A perfect example of this would be the Nicktoons Unite franchise. Hey, I wonder if Viacom could revive that franchise. Sure, we're gonna have to suffer through Breadwinners making an appearance, but it's gonna be amazing to see Nickelodeon dust off older Nicktoons like the previous 2. Back at the subject at hand, you square off against Syndrome, with Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl. I know, just shut up. I'm not calling her Mrs. Incredible. Bringing along teenage daughter Violet and grade school-aged son Dash, the latter of which appears in 2 of the trailers, featuring the many features of the toy box.